Here we go.
The jury find as follows. As to count 1, we find the defendant not guilty. As to count 2, we find the defendant not guilty. As to count 3, we find the defendant not guilty. As to count 4, we find the defendant not guilty. So say we all, the 7th day of June, 2023, in West Palm Beach, County, Florida.
Never cared so much, ran out of wood, just pass the Dutch. Your homies down, you don't never slide, it ain't adding up.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's former NFL wideout and FSU standout Travis Rudolph. He won his trial the other day. He was charged with 1 count of murder, 3 counts of attempted murder, after 4 goons were sent to his mother's home with the intent of killing him, as well as several other family members, at the behest of a woman scorned. It was clearly a case of self-defense, and while he was on trial in the first place, makes no sense to me. Now, if Rudolph looks familiar, he should, because 7 years ago he broke the internet when he did this.
A photo of an act of kindness is drawing praise from around the world.
A college football star took notice of a young student and then did something that changed his life. CBS 2's Mark Strassman reports now from Tallahassee, Florida.
He just sat down with me.
Bo Paskey was sitting alone in Montfort Middle School's cafeteria on Tuesday.
It was right there.
You looked up and there he was?
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He said, "Sup, dude?"
It's Rudolph to the 10 with a guy to beat.
He was Travis Rudolph, a star wide receiver with the Florida State football team. 5 players were visiting the school as part of a community service program.
And what'd you guys talk about?
He asked me, am I going to play in the NBA? And I said yes.
Okay. And what'd you ask him?
I asked him, are you in the NFL? And he said no.
One little thing can change.
Rudolph told us he noticed a young kid sitting off by himself and headed his way.
Once I got those 2 slices of pizza, I just see him by himself, and I was like, hey, this is like a spotlight, I guess. It just, something clicked in my head, just let me go ask him if I can sit with him and eat lunch with him.
Someone snapped a photo of Bo and his new friend having lunch with no one else sitting close and sent it to the 6th grader's mother.
Bo!
Right here.
Bo is autistic, and many days no one sits with him at lunch.
The thought of him eating alone gets to you.
Yes, absolutely.
Leah Paskey will always remember the college football player's kindness to her son.
He could have sat with anybody.
Could have sat with anybody.
And yet he picked
Bo.
Bo.
Yeah.
Who was sitting by himself.
Yes. So I'm just moved with emotion at his generosity and his kindness. I haven't spoken to him. I don't know what made him pick Bo, but I'm so grateful he did. I'm so grateful he did. That was so kind.
She thanked Rudolph in a Facebook post. This is one day I didn't have to worry if my sweet boy ate lunch alone, because he sat across from someone who is a hero in many eyes. That post has been shared thousands of times since.
I definitely just hope, that kids just welcome him in, because he's a genuine person, and he can always be around me anytime if I was his friend.
So we can clearly see this is a man of high moral integrity, character, and compassion for others. Yet he found himself fighting for his life in a first-degree murder trial. Now, how could that have happened? How can a good man like Travis find himself in such a bad spot? Well, it all starts with this here, Dominique Jones. You see, Travis and Dominique were hooking up. They weren't lovers, they were just having a good time. But on one fateful night, she and Travis got into a verbal altercation at Travis's mother's home after she saw other women in his phone. That escalated into her striking Travis over the head with an empty liquor bottle and trashing his mother's home in the process. You see, Dominique was upset because she wanted to be Travis's girlfriend. She wanted to be in a relationship with him, but Travis wasn't interested because, quite honestly, he didn't find her that attractive. She was just an easy lay, a warm hole wrapped in flesh, something better than lotion, if you get what I mean, which of course set her off on a tirade, which is odd because Dominique, unbeknownst to Travis, was already married.
Wait a minute.
Yet here she is angry and accusing him of cheating on her.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Even though he never claimed her like that. Thankfully, Travis and her brother were able to escort Miss Dominique out of their mother's home. But things didn't end there. Dominique, being the lovely lady that she is, wanted revenge. She wanted to punish Travis for refusing to be with her. Again, this is a married woman angry over a man that isn't even her boyfriend. And according to court documents, she threatened the lives of Travis's mother and sister, then called in the goons to come handle Travis. She engaged in what is known as proxy violence. Now, proxy violence is when a woman uses another man or law enforcement as gladiators for her cause, to jump into conflicts she initiates to fight for her, not in defense of her. In the words of Dr. Tiasan Johnson, it's pitbulling. And do yourself a favor and subscribe to his channel. He's one of the most brilliant minds on YouTube, and you'll learn a lot from his content. But getting back to the lovely Miss Jones, Dominique used her younger brother as her proxy, a young man who's allegedly in medical school, as well as his 3 friends.
Stop, let that sit there.
Yes, think on that for a moment. This is a young man with promise, a young man with an aspiring future. And here you have his sister willing to throw away everything he's worked for because she, a married woman, is mad over a man that isn't hers. And when you consider Travis, his brother, her brother, and his friends, those are 6 lives she tried to destroy on a lie. 6 men she was willing to throw away because she was having a temper tantrum. I'm getting ahead of myself, but had those 4 men been successful, had they eliminated Travis, his brother, like they planned, they'd be the ones on trial for murder. But unlike Travis, they would not have gotten off. But yeah, she told them Travis, pushed her down and beat her up, which is a lie, by the way. She was the aggressor, and there's footage of her aggression caught on camera. But yeah, she told them, quote, to shoot his up. And those 4 stooges, without questioning her motives, immediately went over in the wee hours of the morning with guns to carry out those orders, to harm Travis and his family. But unfortunately for those morons, Travis was prepared. After banking on his door and jumping on his brother, Travis ran inside and retrieved his rifle, and he successfully took out one of the 4 assailants, which brought us to the moment you saw here at the beginning of the video, with Travis winning his trial. Now, I want to give a shout out to Pink Book Lessons. Most of the information I've gathered for this video came from watching her investigative reporting on this story. I'll put a link in the description, but be sure to check her out as well. She does great work. So now that we know the facts of the trial, feel free to celebrate this good brother winning his freedom. But as for me, I don't feel satisfied. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy for Travis and his family, but I don't see this as an excitable moment. For starters, he never should have been charged. So if anything, this is breaking even. But I'm still angry because I need to know what's going to happen to this. What about her and what she did? Remember, all of this started because of her. Her brother's friend is dead because of her. Travis and his brother and possibly his mother could all potentially be dead because of her. So what about her? What judgment will she face for her actions? How will she be held accountable for her role in any of this? Because a young man still lost his life on the basis of her lies. So I need to know what's going to happen. When will she face justice? Because in some states they have what is called felony murder. And simply put, if a person, even an accomplice, dies in the act of committing a felony, the perpetrators of said felony can be charged with their death. So if you and your buddy try to rob a bank and a security guard guns down your buddy, you can be charged with his death. Now, I don't know if Florida is a felony murder state, but calling on 4 men to carry out a hit, to quote, shoot his up, has to be a felony, right? Because that's hiring hitmen. That's at least attempted murder, right? We have mobsters in prison right now for doing the very same thing. So something has to be done with her. The state has to be looking into pressing charges against her, right?
Hell no.
Yeah, I know, those are rhetorical questions. Because I already know the answer, which is no. You see, the prosecutor sees her as an ally, not an enemy.
Stop, let that sit there.
The very woman the state should be charging with attempted murder, felony murder, they used to prosecute someone else for a crime she committed. The woman they should be holding accountable, they're using to hold someone else accountable. And this type of thing is widespread. But even in cases where women are prosecuted, they are never punished to the extent that the men are for doing the exact same crimes. For example, look at these cases where you have teachers and older women engaging in improper relationships with underage males. Nothing ever happens to them. Yeah, they have to register as offenders, they lose their jobs, pay some fines, and maybe spend a few months in prison, but that's it. They're not locked up for years and decades, the way a man would for doing the same thing. Just a few months ago, there was a case where a 31-year-old woman faced no jail time, for having the child of a 13-year-old boy, a boy she was responsible for, a boy that called her mom. Consider if those roles were reversed. What would happen if a 31-year-old man got a 13-year-old girl pregnant? What would be his fate? The bottom line is, women are a majority voting bloc in this country, and they hold the electorate accountable. No politician, prosecutor, or judge would ever oppose them for fear of losing the next election. And so feminists in this country have voted themselves into a lawless utopia, where they are not held to the same legal standard as men. That's why an evil like Dominique Jones will never have to answer for what she's done, and why I, though happy for Travis, remain unsatisfied, because she and her brother are still allowed to roam free. And this will happen again because I don't believe this is the first time she's done something like this, and she hasn't learned her lesson. So the next time a man pisses her off, she'll call in her brother to be her proxy again, and like the indoctrinated simp that he is, he'll run to fight her battles. But anyway, that's all I have to say about it. What do you have to say about it? Leave a comment in the comment section and let's have a conversation. Okay, so you've heard me say this a million times. So if you like this video, please give it a like and leave a comment in the comments section and share the link on your social media platforms. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you'll get alerts every time I upload new content. This is the Layman's Journal. Thanks for stopping by. I'm out.
Hell! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
And while I do appreciate you sharing, subbing, and leaving comments, I'm going to ask that you take another step further in keeping the channel going. I set up a membership plan for those of you who would like to offer further support in the development of this channel. It's not anything expensive or special, I'm just asking for 99 cents a month, which is enough for me to continue doing the work that I do here.
Help me! Help me! Help me!
In the future, there will be additional tiers with added benefits, but for right now, I just need your support so that I can cover basic costs. So please, sign up so I can continue bringing you awesome content. This is the Layman's Journal. I'm out.